Welcome to Jamie TV, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be practicing my skills making music for video games by pretending that it's the mid-90s and Carmageddon, one of my favourite games of all time, has not yet been released, and I've been asked to contribute some music to the soundtrack. Now I'm not going to do this by trying to write in the style of the music that Fear Factory made for the original, although I do love that music. I'm just going to get into the vibe of the game and see what I'm inspired to write for it. Will it suck or will it be suckless? Let's not piss pants about, let's find out. A while ago I was really excited to find that Carmageddon had appeared in the App Store, so I downloaded it and it's the original game with all the gore intact and it runs like a dream on my M1 iPad. So I've been playing it with the music off but all the sound effects on and screen recording. Then in LumaFusion on the iPad I've edited together a montage video of Carmageddon Carnage and Mayhem lasting about 5 minutes. I rendered it and Dropboxed it over to my PC and dragged it into Cubase 12 Pro. So now while I'm working on the music I can have my video playing on my second screen and it's like I'm composing to an actual game. There was a slight interruption at this point as I decided to update Cubase 12 Pro to Cubase 13 Pro while I jumped in the shower. I was just thinking it would sound epic if we could have the music start from the beginning of this countdown with some kind of like riser or massive drone or something that rushes you right into that moment when the pedal hits the floor and the car takes off. Let's see what we can find. I found this great sound in Massive X. But as well as this low D, I'm also playing the D 3 octaves higher. The two notes together create this great soundscape, and then in Absinthe I found this sound. A great challenging riser sound, but both sounds have kind of a long tail on them after, and I want to chop that off. I want that to stop immediately as the track kicks in. So I'm going to render both of these sounds because I'm only going to want these sounds to happen once. So I'm going to render them now, make that chop, and then I can close these instruments and save some CPU.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nothing could be more appropriate to convey the level of mayhem and destruction in Carmageddon than some heavy guitars and loud drums. So I started out pissy-panting around with riffs until I came up with something that sounded suitably aggressive and manic. I then worked with Steinberg's Groove Agent to lay down some massive sounding drums. For this I went with the Metronomic Cinema expansion pack. Although these sounds are designed for movie scores, I find them perfect for metal as the sounds all pack an incredible punch and have that widescreen, high drama impact. I'm using the multiple outputs from Groove Agent right from the word go here. Although I wouldn't say I mix as I go along, I do like to get a great drum sound early on because I find it inspiring to work with. I'm using Knock to filthy up my toms. The only Waves plugin I own, Lo-Fi Space, for a bit of a different snare reverb sound for me, and Raum as a reverb for the rest of the kit. I came up with a couple more riffs and grooves, and then laid down the first guitar part as a single note version of each riff. I made the guitar sound with amplitude. I was aiming for an early Metallica type tone, when thrash metal was less refined. I then panned that guitar hard left and played it in again and panned the duplicate hard right with the same sound. Next I played the riff in again, but this time as power chords with the sound I made in Nembrini's MRH 159. I panned it hard left and played it in again, same sound, panned hard right. For the next guitar part, I played a floaty octave riff in the style of the Foo Fighters, a style I've got quite adept at, seeing as I've taught it so many times in Foo Fighters songs in the guitar lessons I do. This guitar sound I made with Aurora DSP's new Laboga Chainsaw Distortion plugin. This distortion is harsh, brutal, filthy and downright nasty and far too inexpensive. I'm on quite a low gain setting here, but it was the perfect thing to cut through the mix. And again, I panned it hard left and played it in again and panned it hard right. All these guitars are going to the guitar mix bus, where I'm just chopping off some low frequencies, even though I've been careful with each guitar sound not to have too much low end. I want to make sure I leave plenty of room for the bass. I'm also using this compressor from Pulsar Modular, the P11 Abyss, which is amazing. It really makes the guitars work well as a cohesive whole. Tightening them all up like this makes them punch much harder. I tend to record the bass after the guitars and drums because it is, after all, the glue between the two. For this track, I once again used Nembrini's bass driver, which I find the perfect plugin for finding a tone with plenty of balls, but you can still hear every note. The guitar riff halts every so many bars, and I thought it would be nice if sometimes, not every time, there was a synth sound, not too loud, just something pulsing in that space. I had a bit of a pissy pants around with this Juno emulation in Syntronic because I do love a Juno sound, and came up with this, which I think is ideal. I was just thinking that I should have said earlier in the video regarding the tempo of the track. I think when you're making the music for a racing game, it would be imperative to try and get the tempo of the track to work with like the top speed of the car that you're racing. But in Carmageddon, that never really happens. You never really get to get your foot down and race, because as soon as you do, somebody crashes into you, or you get blown up, or you fall off a bridge, or you hit an obstacle, and that's the beauty of it. So I simply went for a tempo that worked really well with the riff I came up with, which was 166 BPM. Anyway, I was really inspired by that little bit of synth that I put in that gap there. I think that worked really well, and so I think I'm going to try and do a little bit more of that, just add in a bit of ear candy here and there from synths. Now, I make a lot of music with my iOS setup on my iPad M1 Pro, as well as my desktop thing, and it comes to mind that I've got loads of synths on my iPad that would work really well for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some MIDI out of Cubase to my iPad's audio interface, and then my iPad's audio interface back to the audio interface for the desktop. I'm not going to go into any detail in this video about how I'm going to set this up. I'm making another video at the same time as making this one about exactly how that's done, just for the people who find that interesting. So let's have a piss pants around with some synths on my iPad. I've just been having a listen back to what I have in the project so far, and it seems like all of a sudden I have enough content musically to finish this track, or at least I think so. It's come as a bit of a surprise though. See, all along I was thinking I would probably put down some lead guitar or a synth solo, or maybe a bit of both, as the icing on the cake once I got done with the ear candy stuff from the iOS synths. But those iOS synths have brought so much more to the project than I had originally anticipated. There's enough going on to break up the repetitive guitar riffs and stop them being too monotonous, and the iOS synths have brought their own little bits of melody along with them too. So I think we're near to a finished project here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the real audio from the iOS synths recorded over into my Cubase project, do some mixing, do some editing, and let's see where we are then. And there we have a finished track that I have enjoyed making immensely. Please do not adjust your set. I'm going to play you out with the finished track along with the montage video of me playing Carmageddon with the sound effects left in, so that you can get a feel for what it would be like playing the game with my music in the background. And also I'm going to upload to YouTube the finished track along with that video again, but with the sound effects off, so you can just check out the music. And I'm going to release the track through DistroKid so that I can put it out there as an advert for any developers who might be thinking of hiring me to make some music for their video game, so they can check out what I'm capable of doing. If there's any process that I used in the making of this video that you'd like to know more about, just ask in the comments below. I always reply, and I will do my very best to explain things and to help. If you like this kind of content, then please do tell me in the comments below the video that you think I'm awesome. If you think I suck, then please tell me that too. I promise you will not upset me. Until my next video, take care of yourselves, be kind and be good, make lots of music, play lots of video games, and try not to piss pants about. I'll see you later.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!